Man gets exposed on national TV. Let the story commence. Gordon, said Sulla. We're gonna need... Would you mind if we just had a look? Because you're leaving. Would you mind if we just have a look over, if we could just pass over the paperwork for Searchline? I thought you weren't going to keep doing it once I leave. No, well... That's actually really clever, that. Look. Look at these wee pictures. That's really clever, isn't it? When you overlap that arrow with that same arrow, and the bit where it overlaps, well, at least that fucking bit there anyway. Aye, no, wait, right, just that bit though, but no, that bit there. Oh, wait a minute. Aye, the bit that overlaps, yep. Is it? Aye. That's actually, that's very clever, isn't it? It makes the number 1, because it's to do with the charts. The pointy bits are misaligned. Pointy. No, it doesn't. It's just jammed in there. Are you telling me, look at the base of the 1? There's the base of the 1. Right. And what about the base of the 1? Not symmetrical arrows. Oh, right, aye. This is like that there. This here. The length of the arrow. No, the arrow head, but the length of that is long. Aye, that's shorter. But still. That's very clever, that up and down. You overlap it, even if though it's sort of different lengths, makes this nice wee fucking number 1. Right. And Scylla said, don't try to distract us. We're not interested in that. Now answer the question. He said, what was the question? Listen, I need to go. I need to prepare for leaving. Yes, and so do we. Do you have all the paperwork and the letters and all that sort of stuff for all your Searchline work? I'm leaving though. I don't see why it matters. Because of the handover, we're doing a handover, Gordon. You're leaving. And we'd like to see all the stuff that's happened, all the letters and all that, just so we can make sure, anybody who we didn't help, we could get around to helping them. But I told you, it's a very good success rate. I've been telling people for weeks. Yes, you have. And we just want to make sure just nothing's... I'm telling you, everything's fine. And everything that was dealt with, I got rid of it all. Right. It's just quite a lot of them. It's like, you know how John wanted to meet Mary? John wanted to see Mary again. Well, we put them in touch. John's now managed to find Mary because of her help. Right, anyway, and you sort of move on. Can we see proof of that? Proof? So that's what it is then. You think I'm lying? We'll just try to be thorough. So you think I'm lying? Gordon, when somebody goes in a motor to drive, they put on a seatbelt, not because they think they're going to crash. Because no, that's not got to do with anything. It's got nothing to do with anything. Are you calling me a liar? Gordon, what if I said that I think you're lying? I don't think there has been a high success rate and I just don't see any evidence. What if it wasn't just me, but people were writing in their fucking thousands saying, why are we not seeing what's happened? How do we know that this is real or no? There's people who wanted to get in touch with us with Searchline, but said that they've sent a kind of preliminary letter to us, not to Searchline, but to us, to the main surprise office, saying, I want to send you all this stuff, but I'm not sure if this is real. Do you really put the work in, or is it just a kind of made up thing? I don't want to get my hopes up. And that's happened, and it's thousands now. Would they think maybe there's a chance that you've fiddled with the numbers? I've not fiddled. You know what? I'm out here. No, you're no, Gordon, because if you daily, because I knew you were going to do this. If you just walk right now, we are legally entitled to claim back all the money that we gave you for your Searchline work. And we've spoken to the lawyer about it. If we can prove a certain percentage of this was made up, you will be paying us back everything that we've paid you. Everything. And in case you don't know how much that is, it's over £100,000 you will owe us immediately within 28 days. And then Gordon went like that. What is it? I'm telling you the truth. The letters I put people in touch, I read it out, and then I went, well, there's no point in keeping the letters anymore. These people were real. They're real. No, I'm sure they are real. But did you connect them? Did you find the person? Did you do that? I swear to God. And Gordon says, I know for a fact I'm telling the truth. You know how you get people who say that? Have you ever seen anybody saying that? You know, like on the traitors. I know for a fact I'm faithful. You know, that kind of fucking shit. Like, oh, you know for a fact? Well, that's all right then. I know for a fact I'm telling the truth. And Scylla went, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Gordon, I feel that we're going round in circles here. I want you to supply me with as many documents as you can, letters, to prove that these people you said you managed to put in touch with this other person, that actually happened. And I also want to see some of the letters that have been sent in. We want to see that just to verify that these people are real. Well, I got rid of a lot of them because there's no point in having a big pile of filing cabinets full of fucking letters. People that we've managed to put together. Gordon, how did you get rid of these? How did you dispose of the letters? Just want to know. I put them in the bin. What bin that? But like that bin there. What do you mean what bin? I can't remember what bin. What bin? Just tell me what bin. That bin there. Just that wee bin there. Aye. That bin that gets maybe emptied like once a night. Aye. But Gordon, we get hundreds of letters. Hundreds that wouldn't fit in the bin. What is your say? If you're accusing me of something, I am accusing you of something. I think you're lying. I think you're saying that you put people together just to make it look like, give yourself a job. And I think also you wrote in, I think some of these are fake. I think the photo album one, where the person went to get an empty photo album to buy, and then they opened it up and, wait a minute, there's actual photos in this. Somebody's old photos. And then, I've got to try to find the person who actually owns it. It does not make sense. How could you go to a shop looking for a photo album to buy to put your photos in, and when you go to buy it and it's all packaged up in like packages of 3, you fucking open it up and there's photos inside. No, it's like sample photos, but actually somebody's photos. How could that happen, Gordon? How could that happen? I don't know either. But it did. It did. Gordon, explain it. Explain it. I can't explain it any more than you can. I can explain it, Gordon. I can explain it. You've made it up to get yourself a job and keep yourself in a job. And why did you not just date properly, Gordon? Why? I did date it properly. I'm telling you, it's real. Gordon, listen, mate. Listen. You're leaving, right? You're leaving. And a year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, we'll look back at this. Nobody will care. Nobody will care. We don't know how long Surprise is going to go on for. You've got the Krypton factor. You're a respected journalist and things like that. Everything's, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It's just entertainment, right? Right, I get it. I know. I'm telling you the truth. Let's just hear me out, Gordon. I get it. You wanted to entertain people. You also wanted to give people hope. Maybe a few of them were real. Nobody's taking that away from you. But maybe one or two of them, you sort of made up. I'm telling you, I didn't. Getting a bit quieter. I'm telling you, I didn't. Just listen. I would have done the same, right? It's so hard to find these people. John met somebody called Mary in fucking Sheffield, 1946. She was a nurse and he was still in hospital after the fucking war. He'd like to meet her again. It's hard as fuck to meet these people. Maybe one day there'll be all these computers and they're all connected up and everybody's got one of them and it's dead easy to get in touch with people, right? That'll probably never happen. It has happened. It's a wee kind of joke. Like Jesus inventing the table and chair in Passion of the Christ, and his ma, Mary, mother of, Holy Mary, mother of thingy. She's like, it'll never catch on. But we know it did catch on. His inventions did catch on. Well, there was an internet, but at that time there wasn't. We get it, Gordon. So maybe sort of, just to give people a bit of hope. I managed to find them and all the rest of it. It wasn't good what you did because there's real people seeing themselves on the telly, getting spoken about, like, managed to put them in touch with that, managed to put them in touch with them. And they'll be like, but you didn't find that person for me, why is that? I'm assuming they wrote in to complain, but we never saw them either. That didn't happen. Said Gordon, that didn't happen. Gordon, we just want the truth. No, I'm telling you the truth. You're right. Right about what? Well, nobody wrote in. I never read out any on the telly where I've managed to put this person in touch with that person. That person for last week, managed to find them. Nobody wrote in to say, wait a minute, That's me you're talking about, and you didn't put me in touch with them. But how do I know that's the truth, Gordon? Because the people didn't exist. Sandwich says, what might you have? Fucking no! Then a fucking stand-up show. What makes it? What kind of mic is that? And how does it connect to the, what is it? How does it connect to the, sorry Gordon, what were you saying? The people, nobody wrote in to complain because the people weren't real. The people who weren't real, the people that wrote in saying, I was in this hospital in the Second World War, and this nurse really helped me, and I'd just like to thank her and all that. They weren't real. You made it up. Yeah. But we've surely had letters with people saying they want to get in touch with people. I've just put them on the bin. Well, no, the bin actually, but I burnt them. You burned all the letters? Yeah. Tell me very, very clearly. I suppose I put, you know how I like my puns and all that? Yes, Gordon, that's why we love you. I suppose I put the Burns into Gordon Burns. Very good, Gordon. So step me through just exactly what we're talking here. Just very, very clearly. Just summarise the process, the system that was in place. Just talk me through it. How it all happened. Right. Originally, real people did get in touch. Real people have always been getting in touch with Searchline. And you put me in charge. We've got the research team, but I was in charge of that. Do you remember that I asked you to, put me in charge of this research team, and I will then take the money allocated, the budget, and then divvy it up and, pay these people that's my separate department and that kind of thing. That's my own independent, autonomous department. Well, I thought to myself, I've always thought I'm quite clever. I'm a journalist. I'll be able to do this myself. I don't need all these researchers. And, I've moved there from Northern Ireland, here to London. Cost a fortune to stay here. And I just thought, I'll be able to do this myself and get a wee bit more money for myself, and just let them know, will yous be all right if I just let yous go? There's plenty of work in London. And they went, well, yeah, because they all stay in London. They've got families in London. They can move back in with their in with their folks. Move back in with their fucking moms and dads. I'm just kind of new here. Do you know what I mean? I'm still renting. You know what I mean? They've got fucking, houses and all that. That's sort of just outside London. I've not got that. I need the money. You got rid of the researchers? Yeah. So it's just you doing Searchline? Yeah. The letters started coming in, and I noticed that it was actually very, very difficult to put this person in touch with that person, for John to find Mary, and etc. etc. I couldn't do it. I managed to do it with one or two of them at the start, but it was really, really, really difficult. Then I made one of them up. I tweaked one of them a wee bit. I said that they've met up. They didn't meet up. I just sort of gave the the address. I said, managed to put them in touch. And I just sort of put a wee happy ending in that they've managed to meet up and all that. And, you know, a wee white lie. I'm going to call that a white lie, Gordon. I call that just a lie. Right, anyway, I'm trying to confess here. One thing led to another. And I did read one out very early on where I said, you know, Craig wants to meet up with his old pal, Davey. And then I couldn't get them in touch with each other. And I read out, oh, man, remember Craig and Davey for last week? That's they've met up now. I just sort of made that up. But Craig got in touch with me after seeing that on the telly, knowing that he hadn't met up with Davey, hadn't been put in touch or replied to. And he complained, and I thought, I've got a problem here, because if these letters keep coming in, if this gets caught out, if this gets discovered, I'm going to get caught out. So I thought, I need to make it look like people are meeting up with people, family members getting put together with somebody else, old pals, without the blowback of, you know, what would happen if I actually said, oh, that's a met up on the telly, when they've no. Without the complaints letters. So basically my system is this. Any letters that came in, I would sometimes be inspired by them, like the stories. I swear to God, there was an actual photo album thing. No, the way that I read it out, there was a photo album thing. Somebody found a photo album. It was in a kind of jumbo sale thing, a kind of car boot sale sort of thing. Somebody got it like that. I changed it for a shop. I think that's when I really fucked up. Because it doesn't make sense. You're absolutely right. But I was inspired by these stories, but I never actually used the real stories or the real people, and I just stuck all the letters right in the bin of the fire. I've got a kind of metal bin in my back garden, and I stuck all the letters in there. And then I just made up people. I made up fictional people. Ben, who served in the 142nd Battalion thingamabob, would get the wee things. I'll take a snippet of that, just make people up, so that next week I would say, oh, do you remember them for last week? That's them met up now. People on the real, nobody met up. But at least there's no complaints after it going like that. You didn't put music. You get the idea. How long has this complete, total fiction been going on for, Gordon? Like me completely making it up? Yeah. Last 2 series. For 2 years then? Yeah. Okay. I hope you appreciate the honesty. I do. Because surprise, Chuck. And then, see the wee room that they were in. They were in a wee room. The whole fucking thing got lifted up. All 4 walls. Straight up. And there was a surprise audience. He was on stage the whole time. And do you know why they managed to keep so quiet? Because they were quiet. They were fucking stunned. And Scylla said, he's not a searchliner at all, everyone. He's a liar. You can get him now. And it started with 1 or 2 wee boos. And then everybody was booing. And then it started throwing things. And then, see that old woman with the stick, the walking stick? Women like that were getting helped down by the assistants. So they could go like that, get dead close to him. And Scylla held Gordon's arms behind his back. Because he's quite weak, he's not got a lot of strength. And so that these women could go like that. Hit me on the head. And then there was a queue. Up. The first hit just sort of hurt, and then he got hit again in that same bit, and then eventually the bones, skull's getting broken. And After 3/4 of an hour, he was dizzy, and he had to get held up by Silla on one arm, Bob on the other. And this is all live, by the way. This is a live special. It's on YouTube. It's on the Live Leak. Live Leak's still a thing, by the way, on the dark web. After 2 hours, that was his brain dripping down onto his eyes. He was like, you know, you get soap in your eyes, you're like, your brain is actually quite acidic, stings your eyes. But his brain was dripping down into his eyes. He's like, what is that? I've got soap in my eye. And then Silla went like that. Right, that's enough now. I think we need to put him out of his misery. Always wants to look like the good one. And then they carried him all the way to his back garden and shoved him head first into the bin, the fire bin, the brazier. And put lighter fluid in and set him on fire. But because his head first in the thing, you know, it's like kind of oil barrel, but, you know, just with stuff like that. It just, the lighter fluid just went like on his arse and all the rest of it. You know, his legs were splayed like that, like he'd first in it. It just burnt his fucking cock and balls, and he was like, like that. But fortunately, because he was upside down, his brain slowly came out the broken skull, and started kind of shaking about and all that. And then Silla went like that, right, enough's enough. And she went like, Geisha, can I get somebody hauled her up and held up one old woman, you know, with a walking stick. Can I geese your stick there? We'll get this there and done with. Took off the rubber bit at the bottom, sharpened it along the his patio, Gordon's patio, with the stone like that. So it's a nice wee fucking spear. And then Silla went like that. Okay. Pull his trousers down, put his arse cheeks there just so I can, right, well. Right, well. And then she jumped up in the air and then brought it right down. And that was it. You could hear the fucking skull pop. And that was him. That was him. Right through the arse, through the throat, right into the fucking head. All the way. That was that. That was that. The end. And that's a true story. How do I know? You're about to see. You're about to see. Ivan, this is it, because this is his last episode.